today I have a story time for you guys. So this story takes place a long time ago. Probably when I was about maybe 5 to 7ish. So yeah, a long time ago. So one night, it was really late at night because I know I was really tired, but being that I was so young, it was probably like, 8 or 9. Me and my mom went to the store. And it was supposed to be like, a routine store, go pick up groceries, pick up this, that's it, leave, right? But instead, it turned into something a little bit different, something we weren't necessarily used to. So we walked in, everything was fine. I got tired about a fourth the way through our shopping trip. So my mom picked me up and had me on her shoulder like this. So I was facing behind her and she was looking ahead, picking out all the groceries and things that we needed. So about halfway through our shopping trip, I had this weird feeling. So I looked up and, I was still facing backwards. So I looked up at the people behind us and I found that there was a guy following us, like, behind us, kind of just walking down the aisle with us. And it was a grocery store, so, I didn't think anything of it. I thought, okay, maybe this guy needs paper towels too if we were in the paper towel aisle. So we just kind of kept walking. I didn't say anything because I didn't think anything of it because it is a public place, right? Everyone's there and it wasn't that big of a deal, I didn't think. So we kept walking and after a while, I kept kind of looking up and trying to see where the man was. So after a while, I came to realize that instead of one man, there were now 3 men following us. And at that point, I thought, okay, that's weird, because the one in front was still the guy from the paper towel aisle, okay? And so I finally said,
Mommy, there's these 3 men following us.
And she said, okay, honey, it's fine. It's a store. Maybe they need soup too. It's okay. Don't worry about it. But I kept, looking at the person and I could kind of, tell that after we went down like every aisle that they were still behind us after all this time. Because we had gone, say, from the paper towel aisle this way and then back down a few more aisles to the soup aisle, which is so far apart that by then you would think you would lose someone if they weren't purposely following you, right? Okay, well, so the thing is, they kept following us and, I kept telling my mom,
Mom, they're still behind us. Help, do something.
And, she just told me to keep an eye on them and update her every now and then. And she would kind of ask me every now and then. We went from, how like the store, some stores have like a row of aisles here and a row of aisles over here. So we went from this row all the way over to this row and I found that they were still behind us. And it kind of scared me because I was like, this shouldn't be right. Like I've never been in a situation like this before. So, we just kind of started zigzagging through the aisles, and at one point we went so far that they weren't behind us anymore. They had like ventured off somewhere, or we had lost them and they were a little bit behind. But my mom decided that's a great time to check out and leave the store. So we checked out. She told the cashier that, it may be nothing big, but there are 3 men following me and my daughter through the store, and I want to make a note of it. And they said, okay, do you want an escort out to your car? And she said, no, I think we'll be fine. I don't see them right now, but I just wanted to let someone know just in case something happens. And at that point, I could hear the fear kind of start to build in my mom's voice, which is kind of scary for like a 5-year-old, right? We said no. And we left the store. And we walked all the way out to our car. By the time we got to our car, we were still kind of looking, well, she was still kind of looking around, and all of a sudden she tells me, get in the car. Get in the car right now. I was like, this is weird, like my mom's never this stern. So I got in the car and she quickly threw everything in the trunk, slammed the trunk, and jumped in the car. As soon as she did, she called my dad. And she talked to him, and she said, these men have been following us around the whole store, and now they're right outside the car. He said, lock the doors. So she locked the doors, and as soon as she locked the door, it was so fast. But as soon as she locked the door, one of the men reached for her door handle and pulled, like they were trying to open the car door. But thankfully, a second prior, she had locked it. So they couldn't get in, but they were banging on the doors, they were trying to pull open the doors, and I, scared little me, my mom was on the phone, so I was quiet, and, I was scared, so that also tied into why I was so quiet. But then, she kept talking to my dad, and my dad was like, just back up, come home, right now. Don't just sit there, leave. You have to get out of there. So she did, she backed up, and they kind of stood in our parking spot for a minute, like after we had backed out of it, and I remember they watched us for a while as we were leaving, and I was in the back seat bawling because I was so scared. And my mom kept saying my name. She was like, Kay, are you still there? Are you still there? And I was like, yeah, but I guess it didn't come out as loud as, I thought it would, and she didn't hear me say it. And she later told me, like a few months ago, that she thought they had taken me because she didn't hear me. She didn't hear me say anything. It was just kind of quiet in the car, so she started crying. And that's when I was like,
Mom, what's wrong?
and she was like, and it was probably one of the scariest moments of my life so far, because I didn't know what was gonna happen, or if something had played out differently, what could have happened. So you kind of really, even we were just at a store, a really public place, everyone was there, right? So you kind of have to watch your back no matter where you're at. And that's what I've learned from this. So if you guys learn anything from my experience, learn that. Be aware of your surroundings at all times. And just know that no matter what happens, you are strong enough to get through anything. Because, we're fine. Had we not locked the doors a second before they grabbed it,